Meeting new people. It's my own personal problem for fantasy. That was my phone. Hello my friends, welcome back. If you're new here, hello, name's Emma, nice to meet you, and if you're returning, I appreciate you so much. So, today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag thing. I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to do it, but then I decided, you know what, I probably should. And the reason I decided that I probably should is just because I like the way it sounds. It's pretty fun to say. Booktube Newbie Tag, Booktube Newbie Tag, Booktube Newbie Tag, babe. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So, the Booktube Newbie Tag, if you are not familiar with what it is a series of questions that is asked that kind of let people know who you are, what you're doing, why you created the channel. Question number 1. Why did you start this channel? I started this channel for a few reasons. The first one being that I only have one bookish friend that like I can really dive deep into, and she's an author, amazing. Her name is Geneva Ray, or J. Ray, and she came out with the book Mess, which is beautiful. I will leave a link down below. It's amazing. She wrote it when she was like 18, published it when she was 19. It's amazing, and I'm really proud of her. I love her so much. So yeah, I'll leave a picture of it here and a thing down below. So, she is the one that I talk to most about books. Like, we've been friends since like maybe grade 2, and ever since I started reading, and we kind of started reading around the same time. I think she started reading a little bit earlier than I did, but we have the same taste in books for the most part. She likes a little bit more contemporary style with dystopian, and I like to read a little bit more fantasy and stuff like that. So the reason I started this channel, went on a little tangent there, the reason I started this channel was because I really want to talk to people about books, and what I've noticed is booktubers always talk with other booktubers. Like, it's just a thing. So I'm hoping that booktubers will see this and they'll want to talk to me, and I will reach out. But you know that step where you're like, hey, I don't want to be creepy, but let's talk about books. I don't know about anybody else, but that just is a step that I need to learn to take. The reason I started this channel was so that it would be a little bit easier to find like-minded people to talk about books and to figure out books that I haven't quite read yet. For example, I read Ash Princess, and that was a recommendation. I believe, I could be wrong, by Brittany the Bibliophile. I will leave her link down below. And I read it, and it was amazing. So that's why I want to do this channel, because I think like people, you know, like-minded people are like-minded people. They just gravitate towards another. So that's the first reason. The second reason I started this channel is because I really like to talk about books, and I've already said that, but I really like talking about books that I like, and I like giving reviews, and I think that it's fun to talk about books, so that's why I started this channel here. Next question. Numero 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, to be honest, the only thing that makes me unique doesn't really make me that unique in terms of Booktube, because people who read books oftentimes have something quirky about them. An example would be like, I do a lot of hand motions, and they're weird, and I make faces. I'm very expressive. So I think that like that's my quirk, but I know there's other people on Booktube who are like that. So that's kind of why I'm like, is there anything that I really truly bring that is my own unique thing? Probably not, because there's a lot of people like me. Because I'm unique, just like everybody else. Which sucks to say. And kind of pessimistic. But that's just me. My friends might say otherwise because I'm loud, but I know a lot of other loud people too. Question numéro 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Meeting new frickin' people. I have a hard time stepping out of that boundary of like my circle. Like I have 2 friends, like really close friends that are literally my best friends, and I've known them since I was in grade 2. What's that, grade 7? I was 7 years old, grade 2. And I'm like, what, 21? So I've known them for 14 years. They've been my friends for 14 years. And my other best friend is my cousin. So, and my partner. 4. Why do you love reading? Why I love reading is because it takes me to another place that I never knew existed. And it takes me somewhere that allows my mind to be imaginative. Even though I don't think I'm that creative, I can't think of worlds like this. I can think of cities and maybe towns, but I can't think of worlds. Like, to me, the world that people create is so amazing and vast and descriptive, but so vague. And the way that people approach certain novels just make me really passionate about books. And I also love reading because when I don't read, I feel like my mind is slipping. Like, I don't feel like I'm at my peak vocabulary. I don't feel like I'm at my peak imaginative self. I don't feel the greatest. That's part of the reason why I love reading, is the language, the way that it's used, the way people think of things. And guys, besides the point, that's only question 4. There's 10 questions. Let's get on to question number 5. Which book or series got you into reading? Okay, so for this specifically, there are a few books that got me into reading, different types of books. So for example, Dad got me into manga. And when I was in grade 6, my grade 6 teacher, she got me into reading different types of books. And that was, I think it was like the Magic Tree House. I'll put the book my dad got me into reading here. So I think it's Gawk and Alice. It was the first one I read. I don't know who it's by, I just know that it's called Gawk and Alice. And it was an amazing book, amazing manga. I recommend to anyone who's young or old. It was so cute. And then we've got Magic Tree House. My grade 6 teacher got me into reading that. And then when on the verge of being 11 and 12, my mom got me a book that she didn't know was extreme mature content for an 11-year-old. And that was Bitten by Kelly Armstrong. And after that, I just was like blown away by these worlds, and I would read so fast. So heading into grade 7, my grade 6 teacher told me about a club called Red Maple, which is amazing. And I got to meet Wesley King. I got to meet Eric Walters. There was a few other novelists that I got to meet at the Red Maple. Also met, I can't remember her name. It's called The Taming, I think. Right here is by Eric Walters and someone else. And it's something about domestic violence, and it's been so long since I've read it. But you really start to understand domestic violence a little bit more and how it works, and the cycle of abuse, and recognizing those types of traits, like the rose-colored glasses with red flags. I really liked the book. You know, Kelly Armstrong is the one that got me into really reading. So I would say Gawk and Alice got me into actually like physically holding a book. And Bitten by Kelly Armstrong got me into reading in general, like for the love to read. And then my teacher got me into reading books upon books upon books. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Okay, so as mentioned before, I really like watching Brittany the Bibliophile. I like to watch A Clockwork Reader and Haley in Bookland. So those are the main 3 that I watch. Recently I've gotten into Jody with a Moon. I will link all 4 of them down below. I don't really know it enough quite yet about Jodie to ask her any questions. I literally like 2 days ago started watching her. For Brittany, I think that we're in a similar profession, so I think I'd probably ask her more personal question about like what she went to school for, like what her favorite topics are, subjects, what like, not, I wouldn't necessarily ask her what she does because I know she's very private about that, but I think I would just really like to have conversations about like schooling and, you know, what else is out there for me, and like that kind of like, you know, I'd probably view her as a mentor. And then for a Clockwork Reader, I would probably ask her something like, I don't think I know enough about her either to really, and I know any questions about books, they're probably already answered. They've been on Booktube for so long. I just really like their energy. They bring a lot of really good energy to the table. Yeah, so that's just kind of like, I think I'd probably just ask Brittany the Bibliophile a question. I mean, if they're watching this, hey, you guys are amazing. I really appreciate you guys for keeping me up with the love of reading, and you guys are super cool, and I think you guys are great, and I love watching you guys. So that is Brittany the Bibliophile, Clockwork Reader, Haley in Bookland, and Jodie. Number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So for me, I have a problem with commitment. If something doesn't start working out, or if I forget, because again, I have a memory of a goldfish, I have a really hard time following through with those. So I think keeping a constant schedule would be really hard for me. I already haven't kept up with a constant schedule. I didn't want to keep posting videos if they weren't going to be seen totally, and I recently got like 71 views on my newest video, which will be linked in the description below. It's my first book haul in 2021. And I really, like, it really made my day. I've been so excited about it lately. So I was like, you know what, once I hit 60, I'm gonna make a new video and we'll be good. And then I hit 60, and then I hit 65, and I was like, okay, I need to make the new video. So again, it's the commitment issue, like commitment aspect of like constantly posting, I think will probably be the issue, or the most challenging aspect of this channel. But as long as you guys bear with me while I try to get into a rhythm, especially with this whole lockdown and, you know, work and helping my sisters with school and, you know, renovating the house, I think that it would probably be, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you could bear with me while I discover myself on this beautiful journey. Number 8. When did you start reading? That's kind of the same thing. Which book and series got you into reading? When did you start reading? I was ages maybe 8 and 9, 11 and 12. 9. Where do you read? I read on my bed. I don't read in this chair. It's a very uncomfortable chair for someone who's kind of thick. I mean, if I go like this, maybe. Oh, this is actually really comfortable now. I don't answer the last question in this position because why? It's comfy as heck. What kind of books do you like to read? I mentioned that in the first one. You know, I really like young adult fantasy.
Hello friends. Okay, so editing Emma here. Just wanted to say sorry for the jarring camera angle change, but the camera was completely out of focus the entire time that I was in that position. So, and then I was like, you can probably see over my nose, so I'll just sit up. So that's why that's there. Sorry.
Because, I don't know, I just think that I relate to it most. My dad and I are huge geeks. We like Marvel, DC, watching superhero movies, Mulan movies, Disney movies, like everything. We're kind of nerds. Street Fighter, you name it, we're really into it. So anything that kind of has like a magic aspect, or something where they get to fight, I really, really like those books, which is probably why I've connected so well with Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, because you get all of those in that book. It's amazing, and I definitely love it. Same with Bitten by Kelly Armstrong, The Summoning, The Bone Houses. Like, they're just amazing books, and I think that they're well worth the read. But I also really like books where you can form a connection with the character. So For example, I really liked All in Pieces. It's up there. Who's it by? This is All in Pieces by Suzanne Young, and I could relate to this character really, really well. Just to care for younger siblings, and it's just something that I was kind of like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I believe that I probably gave this one 5 stars because of how well and closely I related to the book. So anything that I can connect with is probably what I like to read. And I guess that's pretty basic. But yeah. No, you're not going crazy. That is my family yelling that it's dinner time. So I'll catch y'all later. Wish you all the best. Hopefully everything goes well for you. And I'm out. For example, dinner. Okay, I'll be right there. So